Appiagyei-Atua, I start with you here on this. How do you feel about this? As far as Richard and his team are concerned, it shouldn't matter that much what we are looking at. And as the president said, forget about these people. They don't control anything. And thanks to my church member, Richmond. Richmond sends me 1 Thessalonians 5:22. That's correct. It says, avoid all appearances of evil. Yes.
Yes. Samson, I was also going to give the quotes. 1 Thessalonians 5:22.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. So I think in a liberal democratic system like the one we have, elections play a very pivotal role. And at the heart of ensuring the credibility of the election process is the election monitoring system. In this case, our electoral commission. The credibility of the commission is very important. And there's a very useful work done by Frederick Ebert's Foundation on electoral commissions in West Africa. And it concluded that there are two main types of electoral commissions. One appointed based on neutrality, and the other appointed based on sort of proportional representation of party members in the electoral commission, plus some civil society organizations. In fact, the example of Burkina Faso even includes some women's organizations and traditional authorities and so on. Ghana decided to adopt the neutrality system, whereby there shouldn't be any appearance of political attachments of any member to the Electoral Commission. And that is what we have operated with for a number of years. And that is why it wasn't surprising when Charlotte Osei was appointed. People cried about it and expressed some concerns about it, even to the extent that Richard Delasky at CTFM took the matter to court.
Right.
Unfortunately, the courts didn't give justice to the decision regarding whether the advice that should be given by the Council of State. Okay. So it shows that we have operated this system, we have created that tradition. And for a number of years, in fact, some Afrobarometer reports done in 2016, 2006, 2007, indicated that the Electoral Commission was the most trusted institution in Ghana, higher than the government, higher than the judiciary, higher than parliament, and so on.
Afarijan?
And in the same, yes, that's the period of Afarijan. And in the same survey, it also came out that the EC of Ghana is the most trusted EC in the whole of Africa.
That's right.
You know, but if you look at the records now, we are going down in terms of credibility of the EC. In a more recent survey done by Afrobarometer in 2016, the EC is the third most less trusted of the institutions in Africa after Gabon, another country, and then Ghana comes in at 37%. So it tells you that when neutrality is sacrificed, it affects.
Is it reality, or these are perceptions that are pushed by the two parties? If you mention, for example, Charlotte Osei, who had knowledge of Charlotte Osei having any partisan, as it were, connections, properly so to speak? She had been with the NCC, which is also a place where you are supposed to see people who are neutral and can be fair, for many years before she went in there. Yet the NPP, cried hell.
Yes, that's where I'm coming to. That even in the case of Charlotte Osei, NPP was up in arms and strongly opposed that. So if you compare the position of Charlotte Osei with Dr. Appiagyei-Atua, then you see a clear situation where neutrality has been seriously compromised, because Dr. Appiagyei-Atua is clearly isolated with, connected with NPP, not to it. And it is, I believe that it was strongly because of that the president in his statement said that it is not about who is voting, but it is it's about who is voting, but it's not about who is counting the.
He was preempting the debate.
Exactly. He was trying to kill the debate and saying that this is where the focus should be. But interestingly, when you look at the stolen verdict written by Dubois after the 1992 elections, this was the position of the NPP, that the success of the votes, why they boycotted the election, was because, and they didn't want to accept the results, was that the INEC at that time was compromised, and that political neutrality issue was at stake. So it beats anybody's imagination that the president would today make such a declaration. People are also concerned about the fact that the professional background of this person, an IT person, and in this day and age, when you're talking about elections, IT plays a big role in this. So that is a concern why we shouldn't adopt a positivist approach to this matter, that this is what the law is saying. There's a moralist argument to it, which deals with the question of neutrality. And it's clearly on the face of the record that this person is tainted, and therefore he shouldn't be part of the process.
But
There's
Prof,
already been a number.
But Prof, like judges, if you are appointed a judge, and then you still want to look back and do any favor to anybody, then you are not worthy of that calling, are you? Especially when you have the protection of the law for your office. It's the same protection that people who are appointed to Electoral Commission have. So we know judges who have been appointed in the US, I mean, you must be appointed because you belong to a particular tradition. And yet, once they are appointed, they disappoint, the government or those who brought them in because they follow the law. Why can't we look at it this way rather than say, once you are tainted politically, when you go there, you will remain the same? It's neutrality. Can people not be neutral and yet impartial?
It's possible. It's possible. But the question is, why don't you put things in the right place to avoid any eventuality? Because if you appoint this person who is neutral, who is politically not neutral, and is aligned to a political party, and then he goes and he doesn't disappoint the appointer, then we have a problem, because we would already have endorsed the person. And if you look at the structure of the EC, there have been questions about the duration in office of such people. When they are brought into office, they remain there for a very long time. And so in that situation, until the person goes on retirement or something, the person will remain there. And we're doing the hard
just like judges,
the one that appointed him. And that is very dangerous. And so we follow tradition. The tradition has been that we are following the neutrality style.
Okay.
And so why change now? Otherwise, we bring in other political parties as well and look at the issue from the number of political parties and the fact that each one should be represented in the INEC.
All right.
Going to IPAC, to me, will not solve the problem, because IPAC itself has had its problems in recent times as well. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.